I'm Edwin Fredson, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the TWF Stay Hungry Pre-Show Extravaganza! I can't believe this, folks. They have left me, Edwin Fredson, alone in the TWF Sports Broadcasting Network control booth. I tell you, looking around at all of this high-tech equipment, the doodads, the gizmos, I'm like a kid in a candy store here. I think it's a unique opportunity for me to take you, the audience, on a journey through recent events transpiring in the TWF history leading up to Stay Hungry at the Colonial Theater on June 17th. That's right, folks. We'll look at stars like Stephen B. Smith, Lockjaw, Samoan Sap, J. Paul. We'll look at what's going on with Omega. But first, let's check out the G-Force triumphant return at the Sacktown Rumble. That's G-Spot and Anthrax, and their first encounter with a young man named Matt Fury. Let's listen in.
Who are you, first of all? Introduce yourself to me. I've never met you before in my life. Who are you? Get in the ring. Get in the ring. Talk to me, kid. Who the hell are you? I'm Matt motherfucking Fury. And second of all, you think you two bastards are going to take TWF or use TWF as a benefit to use it and leave and go to another promotion? That's what you guys think? You guys think you're going to take the TWF World Heavyweight Championship from TWF and go to another promotion, go to Japan, go to the Bay Area, or go to another states with it and show it off and put them on the map? What's your point? It's not going to happen on my dime. You see, you guys may be in the company more longer than I have, but I've been around since I was 13 years old. I've been putting it down day in, day out, night in after night out, every single time. And it doesn't matter if I'm in another promotion, it doesn't matter if I'm traveling or wrestling somebody else, my heart is always with TWF. And I don't represent myself. I represent all the TWF universe right here tonight. I'm in the Sacktown Rumble. I don't like to wait. I don't have any patience. So I'm issuing a challenge against you. That's a good one, brother. Oh my God. Dude, you have no business being in the ring with Anthrax! Who the hell are you? I've never seen you before! I'm gonna need you. But, since you think you had the benefit to take TWF, one thing's for sure, you may be better, but my dick is way bigger than your tiny little shrimp dick that you got. That's it! Ring the bell!
And here's the start of this impromptu match between Matt Fury and Anthrax. It started off as a one-sided affair, folks, with Matt Fury showcasing some of his high-flying moves inside and outside of the ring. Yes, folks, he brought him up and he laid him down after holding him in the air for a nearly record 2.5 minutes. It looked like for a moment here the tides were going to turn as Matt Fury missed this shooting star press, but he found a way to turn it around clipping Anthrax with an extreme dream, which was too much for G-Spot to handle, grabbing the leg of Anthrax, pulling him out of the ring to fight another day. After delivering a few more choice comments to Matt Fury on the way, G-Force was out. And that time would come that very same evening during the culmination of the Sacktown Rumble, at the last two competitors being Matt Fury and Anthrax. This is a number one contendership match. The winner of the Sacktown Rumble moves on to take on Stephen B. Smith for the TWF Championship at Rio Mania. Throughout the entire Rumble, G-Spot made a point to really put it to anyone who put their hands on Anthrax. But Matt Fury was unfazed, putting on a veritable clinic, literally hitting him with everything in his arsenal, taking it to him and keeping control of the situation. It looked like Matt Fury was on the road to victory until he ascended that top rope and was interfered with once again, giving Anthrax the opportunity to kick him over the top rope, eliminating him from the contest and shattering his championship dreams. I can't believe how excited I am to deliver this next announcement, folks. The officially sanctioned match between Anthrax and Matt Fury is now going to be a tables match. That's going to be June 17th at our Stay Hungry event at the Colonial Theater. Will Matt Fury get his revenge, or will G-Force come out on top once again?
Looks pretty in pink too. But do me a favor, stop wearing my underwear when I leave your house. All right, Sap, shut up, I'm talking to Sap. Calm down, bro, calm down. I am not here to fight you. You have other problems that you need to worry about. Mainly this idiot in the corner right there. Where did you find him? Doesn't matter. I am here to do you a favor. Sorry. I'm here to do you the biggest favor anyone's ever done for you in your life. So's your mom, but she swallows too. Shut up. Sap, it's not every day an opportunity like this falls in somebody's lap, but I'm gonna hand it to you. I'm going to offer you a spot in Omega. I want you. I've watched you battle my boys. I've battled you in the past. I know the kind of man you are. You don't need him. You don't need them. We want you. Do you want Samoan Sap to join Omega? Yes! Or do you want Samoan Sap and Mike Kamikaze to kick Omega's butt tonight? They're cruising for a big sasa! No, I refuse. Bring that back.
Remember that, folks. Aren't you glad Sap didn't join Omega? I tell you, the feud between Samoan Sap and Omega goes back quite a while. Let's take a look back right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tag team match between Samoan Sap and Kamikaze versus two members of Omega, Jay Paul and Hakeem Okoro. Now, Omega seemed to be dominating the first part of the match, Jay Paul really going after the knee of Samoan Sap, forcing him to tag Kamikaze. Now, once Kamikaze got into the ring, he himself was dominated, kept in the corner of Omega for most of the match. Jay Paul really laying into him, and Hakimokoro doing what he does best. Until he missed a big splash, giving Kamikaze the time to crawl over him and give the hot tag to Samoan Sap, bringing in the big man and laying down the law. Once he got Jay Paul in that corner, it was nearly over, bringing him up and laying him down. And Jay Paul has no recourse as 400 plus pounds of mountainous man comes careening across his ribcage, cementing the victory of Samoan Sap and Kamikaze. And look at the faces of Omega. It seems the seeds of dissent have been sowed. That leads us up to Rio Mania, where Samoan Sap took on Jay Paul in a singles match for the coveted television title. Sap came out strong, doing what Sap does best, really leaning heavily into Jay Paul. However, the other members of Omega, Christian Black in particular, seemed to dominate the referee's attention. This match contains a plethora of interference. Look, there's Kenny the Dancing Man, downtown Sacramento celebrity, getting under the skin of Christian Black and Hakimokoro. Once those two were out of the building, it seemed the odds were going to be even. However, never count out Omega, the beautiful and talented Evilina, hitting Samoan Sap across the forehead with the television title belt, giving Jay Paul the opportunity to cover and pin, retaining his title. Even though Jay Paul was victorious, you could call this a tainted match due to all the interference. When Sap came to and found out what happened, he was furious, and he took out all of his anger on Jay Paul. I've got a big surprise for you folks. You thought this was going to be a recap clip show? Wrong! We've got new footage. These two gentlemen met last week for the television title in Modesto, California, land of water, wealth, contentment, and health. Let's go to that now.
So apparently I have to defend my title tonight again. I guess his name is Sap, Samoan Sap. You have not earned, you will never earn another title shot. So you know what? I got somebody for you right now. Come on, get out here now.
You heard it here, folks. Jay Paul refuses to wrestle Samoan Sap, bringing in a late substitution, Khan. At first, Sap refuses to wrestle Khan, but later his Samoan blood ran hot, and he mounts a tremendous offense, leaving Khan in the dust. He drops the Samoan bomb to Khan's midsection, taking him out permanently. At this point, Jay Paul has seen that Sap has given the best he has to Khan, deciding to enter the ring himself. However, Sap takes it to him once again, dropping that splash in the corner. Samoan Sap giving it to Jay Paul the way only he can, and putting him to the canvas. South of the equator. And then leans into him with a back rake. Before going to work on that injured knee again, Sap's weak point, taking the sting out of the big man's movement. And Samoan Sap hits him with a clothesline straight to McHenry Boulevard. After a brief turnaround by Samoan Sap, Jay Paul goes back to his traditional dirty tactics, repeatedly giving low blows, eye rakes, and more low blows. A kick to the spine. But Samoan Sap is unfazed, throwing him into the corner and hitting him with a big splash. going into a backdrop and deciding not to cover. It looks like he wants to punish J. Paul. And sure enough, he descends to the top rope, dropping the Samoan bomb. And we have a new champion, folks. You've seen it here first. History has been made. Samoan Sap has taken the television title. J. Paul is furious at his defeat, and he cannot wait for another opportunity to get his hands on Samoan Sap. However, this calls into question the structural integrity of Omega. As you have seen, Hakeem Okoro and Christian Black are constantly at each other's throats. However, they have declared a peace summit to be taken place in the ring on June 17th at our Stay Hungry event at the Colonial Theater. You know I'm gonna be there, folks. Let's look back at a #1 contendership match between Hakeem Okoro, Christian Black, and Lockjaw from Rio Mania. The match starts out with Lockjaw really going strong. He was taking it to both members of Omega. Just when it seems like Lockjaw had it locked up, Omega takes control. But just as it seemed like Omega was starting to work together, they begin to work against themselves. One mistake causes friction, and old wounds are opened as Christian Black and Hakeem Okoro face off in the middle of the ring. Egos flare, and they find themselves staring into each other's eyes. Evelina steps between them to try to talk sense into them. However, they will have none of it, shoving Evelina to the side, which leads to an impromptu pose down, first from Hakeem and then from Christian, leaving the perfect opportunity for Lockjaw to do what he does best, take fools out. A garbage can lid got in the ring, but in classic Omega form, Evelina takes a trip down south. And both referees don't know what to do. The duel between Christian Black and Hakeem Okoro works its way to the top rope and becomes a three-way suplex instituted by Lockjaw. He uses this to his advantage to pick up Christian Black and drop him down, covering him for the 3 count and solidifying his position as the #1 contender for the TWF title. The TWF presents Stay Hungry on June 17th at the Colonial Theater. Wonderful action on this card, including Matt Fury versus Anthrax in a tables match, a peace summit between Omega, a championship tag team match between the Vets, Joey Balls and Vortex, taking on Corporal Bogue and Ronald Rufio, and Lockjaw. Well, who will he be wrestling? Let's find out right now. This match started off controversially as the Jake stated that the insurance companies would not cover Stephen B. Smith in this match due to his 9 stab wounds he had sustained the week before. Despite the Jake's best efforts, the Beast would have none of it. He waived the insurance, throwing t-shirts to the fans. The match starts out and Beast is hot, taking it to Anthrax the way only the Beast can, putting him in submission holds and dropping off the top rope. It seems like inside the ring, Beast is the master. Once the match proceeded outside the ring, Anthrax was able to throw a flurry of non-traditional wrestling tactics until he was dropped on the back of seat E17. With some help from the fans, Beast was able to put a hurting on Anthrax, the like of which has rare to be seen in the TWF. Beast took it back into the ring where before he had the dominance. However, once they got back in, it was back and forth like a brutal game of ping pong. Until Beast finishes the match in spectacular fashion, covering, pinning 1, 2, 3, and retains the TWF Championship title. Oh! Thank you very much for joining me on this journey through archival footage here in the TWF studio. I'll see you on Saturday at Stay Hungry, June 17th at the Colonial Theater. I'm Edwin Fredson, signing off.